The value of y varies directly with x. When the value of x is 4, the value of y is a negative 12. What is the constant variation when y is a function of x? And what is the value of y when x is equal to negative 6? Move the correct answer to each box. Each answer may be used more than once. Not all answers will be used. It gives us our answer choices. The constant of variation is blank. The value of y when x is equal to negative 6 is blank. So when I first looked at this problem, I originally thought that this was going to be a problem that is a y is equal to mx plus b. That is simply because that's what I assumed that's what I was going to be looking for. I thought I was going to be looking for a coefficient and then for my constant. On the other hand, that is actually not the formula you're going to be using for this problem. You're actually going to be using a completely different one. So here, instead, what you're going to be using, and it was given to you here, what is the constant of variation? When it tells you that, you're going to go ahead and do y is equal to kx. And then here, it goes ahead and tells us when y is a function of x, and what is the value of y when x is equal to negative 6. That's one of the problems that it gives you, but it does give you the opportunity previously as well. What is the value of y varies directly with x. When the value of x is 4, the value of y is negative 12. So here, I'm going to go ahead and substitute them with my original, which I have x is 4 and y is equal to negative 12. Here, I'm simply going to go ahead and say negative 12 is equal to k because I was not given k. And I'm going to go ahead and say 4 is x. So I'm going to put 4 here. Now, when it says the constant variation, you're not looking for b, you're going to be looking for k. That's the confusing part, and that's what I was originally a little bit confused on. But you're going to be looking for k here. That is what it's really looking for. And what's confusing about it is that it's using the word constant, and it might throw some people off, but because you're not using mx plus b, you're looking for something completely different. When you're thinking about a constant, sometimes you're thinking about the b value, but here it's going to be different. The last thing I have to do is simply go ahead and solve for k. Once I solve for k, the next problem is also going to be easier. To do so, I simply have to divide. As I'm solving for k, I divide by 4. Once you divide by 4, you should end up with negative 3 is equal to k, because I can cross out these 4's, and I'm simply left with negative 12 divided by 4. That is going to be my first answer. My first answer is going to be negative 3 here, which is one of my answer choices here. Now, I can use the same answer, but let's go ahead and try this out. Once you know what k is equal to, the problem is also a little bit easier. The reason for that is that you're looking for the value of y. The value of y is going to be something that we're looking for, so that means that's something that we do not have. We can write y is equal to. We do know what k is equal to, and we know that it's going to be equal to negative 3. Now, we do also know what x is equal to because it's given to us, and we would say negative 6. So now all you have to do in this situation is simply say negative 3 times negative 6. That's going to give you a positive number. So we know that it's going to be a positive number, and we know that it's going to be equal to y. So it's just going to be positive 18. So the answer here would be 18, which is also one of the answer choices. It's really easy to make a mistake here because some people would naturally assume that it's going to be a negative 18. But don't forget that a negative times a negative is going to be a positive. That's the answer.